Hello, guys. Welcome back to Sound of Manchester. This is Prathamesh, and I'm joined by Mihir and Kushagra. Mihir is, getting a lockdown on his face pretty much these days, and so is Kushagra, and so am I with this freak haircut. But anyway, I think Europa League is the talk of the hour right now, and we have been doing really well in terms of the results. Performance again has been up and down, but it's been fantastic to be in the Europa League semi-final, wherein we will face Sevilla on Sunday night in Indian Standard Time. So we have talked a lot about how the team has progressed and how we have actually gotten here. And the role of Bruno Fernandes and Anthony Martial cannot be underestimated in this entire journey because when Manchester United started the season, it was without Alexis Sanchez, who had gone out on loan to Inter Milan, and obviously we had also sold Romelu Lukaku to Inter Milan in the same window, where a lot of questions were being asked whether these guys are going to be replaced because with Lukaku you had that guaranteed number of goals, even though it wasn't always pretty, but he was effective. And with Alexis, there was this promise of creativity, that promise that never materialized as such, but then still letting two such fantastic talents go was going to be a question mark. How Ole is going to replace them, and Martial took the number 9 jersey back as soon as he got his first glimpse at trying to get it back. And the challenge was whether he was going to be able to live up to the expectations because Martial, for many Manchester United fans, hasn't always done that. And the numbers themselves are they show that he hasn't always done that. So it has been a long-standing debate, and we did sign Bruno Fernandes to replace that creativity which we lacked in midfield in January, and ever since that, it's been a fantastic partnership that those two have developed, Bruno Fernandes and Anthony Martial. It is as if you cannot, you can't take them away from the training ground. You can't take them away from each other on the football pitch, and probably even their wives will be wondering that these guys just keep talking to each other. Why will they spend time with us? So it's that kind of bromance that these guys have built with each other. But Kushagra, I think as a long-standing fan, huge fan of Anthony Martial. The season started and Anthony did really well for himself. Scored on the opening day, obviously against Chelsea. Got injured sometime later, but then came back with wonderful goal against Norwich. And the season has been good for him, but obviously Bruno has made it even better.
Yeah, Bruno's impact is something that is quite unbelievable that in a way manner that it has come about, because honestly I haven't seen a player come and hit the ground running, at least playing for United. I'll not get into a debate with other people and other supporters here, but as far as for United is concerned, it's almost a joke. He has a goal or an assist every match, and of course, the whole concept of if you guys remember, before the lockdown, we were discussing whether Raymond and Pogba can play together or not. He just shows
Yeah.
good players can play together. And as far as coming to Anthony Martial is concerned, I've never really had any doubts. The boy has talent. He is fantastic. It was an injustice that the number 9 was given to Zlatan Ibrahimovic. With all due respect to the player he is or was, he didn't deserve to take the number of a player who was or at the club. And the same happened with Lukaku as well. So Martial has had like 3 years in the wilderness without the number 9. And it's a sort of a psychological thing. I don't know if many people would know. After the very first season at United, Martial registered his company, called it AM9. And he was an 18-year-old kid
Yeah.
then. Imagine taking it off as a kid, and just imagine your psyche. I can't even say how I would have reacted at 18. If I knew I was one of the better players of the team. So he's been fantastic this season, and it's lovely. The way you saw him point to Ole in the second leg versus last, just shows that he has that faith of the manager. The manager believes in him, and I'm just enjoying this. I think Mihir will back me up here. I'm just enjoying Martial, Bruno, Pogba, Rashford, Greenwood, and all of them just gelling together. The one-touch passing, especially when Mata came on. So I'd like to refer it more to our coach here, but personally as a spectator, I'm really enjoying the play.
Yeah, I think one thing that has changed dramatically since Ole has come in, especially with Martial, is his consistency. So far, over the last 3-4 seasons, he was hot and cold. You could always see that the talent was there, but he was not replicating it for the entire season. This season, I think what has changed is, along with his consistency, the way he's playing the game. You can see him smiling. You can see him trying trying something different every time. That was something that was missing. That was something maybe that he showed in the first season at United, but after that, for the next 3 seasons, since it was missing, even not getting the right amount of game time and probably being played out of position maybe would have impacted that. But now he's got the number 9 jersey, and now he's also got the number 9 position back, and he's shown that perhaps he can be the world class talent that we thought he was, or that he is.
Yeah, I mean, in last 2 seasons combined, like in the seasons before this, he scored the same number of goals that he's scored this season itself. I mean, he's already on 23 goals this season. He had scored 23 for the last 2 seasons combined, which shows how much things have changed for Anthony Martial and changed for the good. Because, as Kushal rightly said, as an 18-year-old kid, when you're making ambitions as a Manchester United number 9, all of a sudden a manager comes in, gives it to someone else, and makes you play out of position slightly, and it doesn't work out well for you. It is a huge, it's hugely demoralizing. But I think he's done well. Yet Ole has kept faith in him, because I think at the start of the season, Gary Neville mentioned it. Probably this is the kind of number 9 United actually need, because if you go for a proper traditional number 9, standing in the box, kind of winning the long balls, or the traditional English kind of forwards, kind of like Harry Kane. So United wanted something different. Ole wanted something different. It's worked out properly for United this season, and there's a lot of promise that is being shown. Also with Bruno Fernandes, because he's hit the ground running big time. Kushaga said that I don't, and even I personally believe with him that I don't think I've seen a United player settle in so quickly in my lifetime. He's been absolutely fantastic. He's gelled up with every player in the team. It's just as if it's a different team now, in terms of the confidence, in terms of the bond they have with each other, and they've completely change the position that Manchester United were in. I mean, before that, nobody thought that this would be a team that would be a force to reckon with if there are one couple more players in this team. So now the focus shifts on to the game against Sevilla, and potentially a final against Inter Milan on the 21st, if we win the Sevilla game, obviously. And there have been a lot of talk about match winners in games like this, and none better than Bruno Fernandes and Martial, because they have been fantastic. Their partnership has been really great. Coming back to Koshagra, I think these are difficult games. Obviously, Sevilla have shown when they beat Wolves that we're going to find it. They're going to find it tough to be broken. Their defense to be broken. For us, it's going to be difficult because they counter really well themselves. We do not have these fast defenders, but we do have Bruno and Martial, and their link up and the way they bring others into the game, the likes of Rashford, Greenwood, Pogba. So this is going to be crucial now, and it's kind of like breaking the lines in a different way, and that's what these two are really good at: one-touch football. So how do you reckon this is going to play in United's favor in these 2 games, potentially 2 games?
So after watching Sevilla last night against Wolves, first of all, let me just say Sevilla completely deserved to win that match. I don't think Wolves were really playing football, because I think they were just sitting there and defending. If they could, they would have gotten a few more players, and I think they should have just had their midfield and their defense just line up around the goal line, because it was so uninspiring from Wolves. They had one shot on target, and that was a penalty, which was missed by Raul Jimenez. They had no corners. Sevilla had 14 corners. So, yeah, moving past Wolves, I think Sevilla will be a very difficult test. I would like to dub it the Football Heritage Derby now. Because clearly, United do not have football heritage. There's someone very famous said that. So, this is heritage. So, yeah, this is our heritage. So, hopefully we can reclaim our heritage there. And, it was really painful 2 years back. I think both of you must remember it very clearly. The ridiculous lineup that was the ridiculous lineup that Jose Mourinho selected that night, like getting Paul Pogba to just sit on the bench, doing nothing, twiddling his thumbs away. And it was really irritating, that 2-1 loss. And I think we owe Sevilla one. So I desperately want, I don't want the United of the last 3-4 games that has turned up to turn up. I want the United that played in the last 20 minutes of that match, or during the extra time. I want that United turn up. I want there to be urgency, because Sevilla will play ball. Sevilla will not have drop, will not sit back and counter. They'll play football. And United, I think it's, in a way, it should suit United more, because United will have more space. They'll have, they can break through the lines much easily, because Sevilla will be, committing 90 men forward. So it should sort of play into United's hands. But, I know in a tournament form doesn't matter. Just have to win that one odd match. But the way they've been playing, they haven't filled me with such confidence that I can go out and out and say United will thump Sevilla or something like that. Because Sevilla did finish fourth in La Liga, if I'm not wrong. And so they've also qualified for the Champions League. Both the teams come in here tension-free. So, it should make for a good match. I'm hoping for a high-scoring match, only on our side, of course. But hoping for like a 3-1 or a 4-2 or something like that, like an exciting match. But at least United show what they're in for, that they're good enough to win the Europa League. Because you were right. If United do qualify from here, it's either Shakhtar or Inter. Either of them will be again very tough, and a completely different style of play as well. So, I think United start as slight favorites, but not much, because I feel Sevilla have the history for this competition, won it 5 times.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they are the ones who won it the most times, so it really works well. But again, it was Unai Emery. This is a different setup, but I think Julen Lopetegui has got him really going. As you said, in the Wolves game, I think after the penalty especially, Wolves were absolutely dominated. It was a different class from Sevilla, and they showed why they are the team to reckon with in this competition. This is where, they have their football heritage in this competition. And famously, after that football heritage moment at Old Trafford, this is our time to, get one over them. But you rightly said, Kushagra, that Sevilla themselves like to play ball. They want to attack all game. So that is how they go. That is how Lopetegui has gone over the years. But that gives us a very good chance to counter, because that is something that we have been comfortable with and doing it pretty well, especially under Solskjaer. And Mihir, I think you would know that in a game like this, where you will be countering and probably defending a lot in the game. You need a lot of concentration, but you also need players who can make those special moments. And we have been talking about the Bruno Martial partnership, and I don't see anyone better than them to step up in this game and deliver again, considering that now that Martial is also, one up on the goal on the goals tally with Rashford. I think it's a great chance for him to, obviously increase that gap. Kushagra, a chance for him to win that competition or that bet which we have had. But apart from that, I think most importantly win the Europa League. So I think it's down to those two, especially in this game, isn't it?
Yeah, well, as Kushagra said, that in these competitions, in knockout games, your form doesn't matter. The way you play football, that comes secondary. What comes primarily is the result. And interesting to see, around a week or so back, I read a quote from Rooney regarding the 2 Champions League finals that we lost against Barcelona, where the players thought that we shouldn't have set up like that. And it's very important when you're playing in a semi-final and a final, and looking forward to a finals, or even playing a finals, your mentality, that is what wins you the game. When the game is won or lost, not in those 90 minutes, but before you enter the pitch. And when Rooney said that the players thought that there was something wrong in that is the point where we lost those finals. And that is where your mentality comes in. That is where in these games you need to be proactive rather than reactive. So maybe if you want to play, if you're an attacking team but the opposition is also an attacking team, then maybe it's better to sit back, park the bus. And that is something that we didn't do in 2009 and 2011, and that cost us. Maybe that's something that we might do on Sunday night. And I'll give you an example. You to if you want a recent example, again the last season's Champions League final, where Spurs were beaten. I would say that Spurs beat Manchester City and Ajax without Harry Kane. He was injured, so they got good results without Harry Kane. It was something that was working for them. The system that they had adapted to without Kane. Kane had come back just 2-3 weeks before the finals, and then he didn't really perform the way that Spurs would have wanted him to perform, and that was a big letdown for them in the Champions League final. So that is something that hopefully United will avoid, and that is why I think when Eric Bailly started, I think that was a very good move over Lindelof, because when you look at maybe Ole is looking forward to the final and he's thinking that maybe Inter Milan will be there, and if you've seen Inter Milan's against Bayer Leverkusen, both the goals that they scored, it was Lukaku who outmuscled the defender. So on that, over there, you would rather have Eric Bailly over Victor Lindelof.
Yeah.
And in terms of defensive abilities, I don't think both of them have much difference. Maybe that Eric Bailly is a bit quicker, so he will definitely partner Maguire better than Lindelof. So that's something that I liked about Bailly's selection.
Yeah, I think Mir, you made a few really interesting points coming, especially about Eric Bailly, where I think Bailly has the game more on his feet and more on the situation. Lindelof probably, is a little bit more thoughtful in terms of what he does in defense. But I think in games like these, we might need Bailly more. And obviously, I think when Wayne said that the team was not happy against the way we played against Barcelona, I think the mentality calls it into this in the situation big time, because Barcelona were playing fantastic football back then, and it was probably had United set up in a different way, which probably isn't a Man United way. We might have won either of the finals. You never know. So, and Jose did that in the 2017 final. He respected the fact that Ajax played beautiful, poetic, romantic football, and we played, what we call the Jose Mourinho football, the dull one, but we won the final. And then, that famous quote of how poets never win anything but winners do. So, I think we might need to become, not Jose Mourinho, that is just something entirely different. But we might need to be Ole, the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer team that has been there this season. They have been, specifically doing really well in counter-attacking situations, been really effective by, as you said, being proactive even during counter-attacking. We've won big games playing such style of football. We won on the opening day against Chelsea. I think even on that day we weren't the dominant team on possession. We won twice at the Etihad and one at Old Trafford against Manchester City. We played a really good game at Anfield, trust me. And I think back then we did not have Bruno Fernandes, so there have been examples that we have done well in that style, and we might go ahead and do that. So a final question for you guys. How many goals do you expect? Not Man United, obviously. Man United, both of us will expect, all three of us would want to go for a win and give our predictions. But this time I have a different prediction for you guys. How many goals will Bruno and Martial score combined in this game? I will have my answer after you guys. So starting with me.
I think both of them combined will score one goal. I think against Sevilla in the semi-finals, it's a night for someone else to finally step up. So that's why I'll say between Bruno and Anthony, just one goal.
I was gonna go for a Bruno assist to Anthony, but because Mihir said that just to make it slightly different, I'll go for like 2 goal contributions between the two of them, 1 goal and an assist, either of them. But of course, the assist is not to each other, so 2 different goal combinations.
Yeah, I think I probably feel both of them will score in the game. It might be
Oh,
a it might be a high scoring game, but we will have to see the best of those two. And also, Rashford and Greenwood score one goal that was ruled out by VAR. So he's also in good nick, and Rashford will have to improve honestly because he hasn't been in good nick for the last 2 or 3 games. But yeah, I think Bruno Fernandes and Martial, again, coming back to them, they have been spectacular probably all season for their respective clubs. Martial only for Manchester United all season scored 23 goals. Bruno Fernandes was brilliant for Sporting Lisbon, and it is as if he has been playing in the same vein but only better for Manchester United in a better league, in a better environment of players, in probably higher games with higher stakes. And I think that's shown in on the club's performance, especially since the project restart. So I think it's going to be fantastic these next 2 games potentially to win us the Europa League. And I personally feel, Anthony Martial can be our biggest match winner in both games because he has been in absolute top form, especially in the last game. I think his dribbling was absolutely fantastic. I have never seen something like that this season at all. So it's going to be creating some havoc in the Sevilla defense already if they have watched the highlights of what Martial did in that last game. So thank you, Mihir and Kushagra, for joining. Obviously, me and Kushagra have our ongoing bet, so that's going to be a little bit hurtful for me to lose that one. But I don't mind it if we win the Europa League. So I'll take that
yeah.
all chins up. So thank you guys. Thank you for watching Sound of Manchester. Please tune in to the Sunday night telecast of the UEFA Europa League semi-final against Sevilla. The match is in Germany. So thank you guys and stay tuned.